Alright, with Chucky Season 3 coming back in October, I decided to go back and rank all the movies in a tier list. All the movies that came out before the show. I'm not going to include the show in this because I feel like it's not fair to compare the show to movies. We're only going to focus on the movies leading up to, also with the remake. Chucky is one of my personal favorite horror franchises. This is the first horror franchise I ever watched as a kid, and it just stuck with me ever since. I still love a good amount of the movies. I have them all on DVD, and I have the first season on this DVD to show you how much of a fan I am of this. So I'm excited. Let's do it. The first Child's Play. Now, I'll probably put it at A tier. Let's put it at A tier, right? Because I feel like this movie needs to be at A tier just for the fact of I feel like Chucky wasn't fully Chucky yet in these movies, right? What we became to know of him, like even in the next movie, he wasn't fully him yet, and I feel like the studio didn't realize what they fully had yet. So I still think this is a good movie. I still love the characters in it. Some of the stuff has aged a little bit rough with the doll effects and whatnot. But besides that, I think Andy's mom was a great character in this. I still want to see her back in season 3. I still want to see her as a returning character. Even, I can't remember who the cop was, but I enjoyed the cop in this. I enjoyed the introduction we get to who Charles Ray is, even at the beginning, and how the doll became to be. I enjoyed the whole journey this went on. I enjoyed the dark tone of this, and, you know, even though they ditch a lot of it as more of the movie goes on. But this has a more serious tone to it, rather than more of the movies that have came after this. And this is the first movie I watched of this series. It freaked me out as a kid, and it was... I used to have my stuffed animals. Like I had this stuffed animal SpongeBob. It used to freak me the fuck out, so I would hide it in my closet. This thing freaked me out so badly when I was a kid. Oh, I don't know when I watched this. I think it was like 4th grade when I first saw this movie. Crazy times. All right, we're gonna go on to Child's Play 2. Oh, S tier. That's a good movie. I really like that movie. This is probably one of my favorite, either my favorite or one of my favorites out of this whole franchise. I always love watching this, and this is a fun time. And then this is when they fully realized what Chucky was going to be, and he didn't have to wait for the build-up this time. He just got straight into the action. I love it. I love his one-liners. I love the quips he has in it, and it's really funny. The whole ending is badass, like the whole chase sequence throughout the whole doll factory, and he's going after everything because he fucked up. He was waiting too long and now he's stuck in a body. He's chasing after him. This is crazy. This movie also has probably one of the most rewatchable elements to it. This and probably like 2 others have a rewatchable factor to it. Like you could watch it a lot. When it comes to this franchise, it's probably one that I grab the most. Either that or one of these other movies we'll come and talk to when we get to it. This is a fun movie. I love to watch it every time. I think Andy does better in this movie as well. Even with the foster parents, stuff like that element being brought into it with them not believing what he's talking about because it sounds crazy. And even like the Chucky going to kill the teacher, they added a lot of new setting into it. I really liked it. It had a really different set of pace. Like that's what these movies had. They had a lot of different set of pace. Like everything was kind of different settings, and it made it a little bit refreshing. So we're gonna move on to the next one, Child's Play 3. Honestly, A tier. Now I know that's a hot take, but I genuinely like this movie. I don't understand the hate for it. If you find it boring, okay, but I don't know. It holds up to the first 3 to me. Every time I've watched this since I was a kid, I've always enjoyed this movie. I never really understood all the hate for it. Sure, is the kid annoying? Sure, I can understand like that. There's certain things like that, or maybe the barber, stuff like that. Sure, I can get stuff like that. But as a movie itself, I enjoy the military setting. I think it's a different change of pace. It was something different. There's a lot they could do with it and whatnot. I think this is Don Mancini's like least favorite Chucky movie he did too. But honestly, I enjoy this movie. Every time I watch it, I try to see people like are talking about, but I just don't see it. And I know some people find it monotonous because we have to do this over and over again, him going after Andy, sure, for a 3rd time, but I still think it has some of the good elements. Is it the weakest out of those 3? Sure, but I still like it. And then the ending is so cool. Like the whole, the random little fairground going on there, and the whole, him doing his little spell at the end, trying to get himself back into the body. That was really cool. Being shot and just half his face cut off. It was so badass getting shot into the fan. I thought it was really cool. And then the whole idea of them changing out like the paintballs with actual bullets and it was a lot of different ideas and a lot of different setting, and I just enjoyed it. I think some of his one-liners are great in this as well. So yeah, I don't know. I know it's a hot take, but it's still gonna remain there. It still hasn't changed for me over the years. Bride of Chucky, S tier. It's definitely one of the best out of this franchise. Like I can't deny that. Like these first 4 movies were just bangers after bangers, even though people don't agree with 3. I just think these first 4 were great to go through, and then we'll talk about what happens next. But I love all these first 4 movies, and this is one of my favorites as well because I think the comedy aspect is nailed great. I like following the new characters, adding now Jennifer Tilly into the mix. The only thing in this whole series I actually liked her in because I thought she played the character great. And then they took it into a different direction with the other ones. But I think the whole darker element to her and being like, you know, having another doll in the mix to go back and forth with Chucky was pretty cool. And seeing them on this journey and then, like, them doing all these murders and then like framing the couple they're with. I can't remember. I think it's Jade or something like that. I can't remember who the other guy is. But I think this is the other one that was really rewatchable. Like the second one and Bride of Chucky are definitely the most rewatchable out of all these. And again, the one-liners are great in this as well. And I think the guy who made Freddy vs. Jason also filmed this as well, which makes sense, and he's great as well for how he filmed this. And then, like, you know, it ends off with the cliffhanger, and that's probably why I put it below Child's Play 2, is because it kind of undercuts a little bit at the end with her having the kid. What comes next, it's like, oh well, that ending kind of is rough now. But yeah, I guess while we're at it, let's talk about Street of Chucky. God damn, D. This is still the worst Chucky movie by far. None of these have come close to as bad as that is. I have a miserable time every time I watch this movie. It's probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Not the worst, but it's definitely one of the worst. I just don't have a fun time watching this movie. This movie is not funny at all. And like, even like some of the scenes, it's just like, you got fucking this fourth wall breaking with Jennifer Tilly playing Jennifer Tilly, and then them acting like, oh my god, I've never seen Jennifer Tilly, even though we look exactly alike. It's like, okay, stuff like that is ridiculous. I get what they're trying to go at with that. And then Glenn and Glenda, I feel like, you know, the whole piss gag was, and then the karate at the end, stuff like that. And even just like, I feel like the only thing that saves this is Brad Dourif just voicing Chucky. Like, I still enjoy Chucky himself, even though he has a lot of rough things to be working with here. I have a Britney Spears cameo. It's just bad. Like, this movie's so bad, it got to the point where it's never been in theaters after this movie. This is Don Mancini's directorial debut, and goddamn, what an entrance. And he's done all the movies after that, which I don't know. He writes all these movies and all the stuff that happens here. He's just one of the most frustrating people to watch. I swear to God, he's one of the most frustrating people because he just doesn't like to follow his own rules over and over again. I don't know. And for how bad it was, he had to do a course correction, which was Curse of Chucky, which is gonna go, I would say A or B. I don't know. I really don't know. I think I would put it in, let's put B, to be fair. This is really good. I really like this one. Except the last 15 minutes. The last 15 minutes gets a bit ridiculous. After when Nika gets taken into court and stuff like that, I think gets ridiculous. But besides that, the first part of this whole course correction, go back to the darker tone, have an isolated setting, I think works great. I remember watching the trailer of this as a kid. I thought this was creepy, and I love the creepy atmosphere it has. The Alfred Hitchcock type of deal on here. I think the addition to Brad Dourif's daughter being added to the mix, Nika, which I feel like they haven't utilized her character really that great since this movie. But I thought she was a great addition. Like, you know, having a wheelchair rather than being able to run from the killer or kick the killer or whatever. I thought that was really cool kind of twist to have there, because now what are you supposed to say? Because that's what everyone says about Chucky. It's like, oh, you can kick him, you can run from him and whatnot. She can't. And so it was really cool for somebody in his family to be brought into this, because it could look bad, but worked out really well. I think she's a great actress. I want to see her more throughout the show and stuff like that, because even in the show, she's great. So yeah, I want to see more of her character utilized, and I want to see more of these characters utilized in this. Like, I don't know, man. The ending with the whole him and what's that little girl's name? And I don't know. But then they have the Andy ending, which was, at the time, was cool. Because that was, Cult of Chucky hadn't came out when I watched this for the first time. And I was like, oh my god, Andy's back! Like, the whole ending, it was pretty badass. It was pretty badass. But obviously, it built to nothing really in these last few movies and show, which is unfortunate. I hope maybe they can do something with the next season. I don't know. That's the other reason too it's down there, is because it's kind of like the Bride of Chucky thing. It's like it just kind of undercuts that ending. It gets you so excited, and then you realize you got really excited for nothing. So, and then it leads into Cult of Chucky, which is gonna go in C. I don't think it's bad as Seed of Chucky. I liked it when it came out, but watching it when I've gotten older, I did not like this movie. Funny enough, Seed of Chucky used to be my favorite movie as a kid. That was like my favorite Chucky movie. Yeah, I know, right? That's rough. It shows you how much my taste has changed over the years. And so I watched Cult of Chucky for the first time in years, and yeah, that's rough. That's rough. And especially when you think about all like the rules and stuff like that towards the end, it's like, yeah, you guys broke a lot of the rules in here. I mean, the show kind of fixed it, but I understand he had like an idea to do, like Don Mancini had an idea to do this for the third one, but didn't have the budget. But I feel like the way it was added in here was a bit lazy. I thought some of the things were funny. I thought some of the one-lines were funny in this movie. With it being at a hospital, added a whole different kind of scary element to it. Having all the white and whatnot, kind of this insane asylum type of deal. I didn't really get much enjoyment out of this movie. And then like the Andy story element being in that mix as well, and then them kind of just not utilizing on that at all. Like the first like few minutes were great, and then just there was no much of Andy in this at all, and then Andy comes to go save the day, but then gets locked away, and that's it. That's it. And then it comes to the next season, and then he doesn't really do much again. It's like, that's it. You know, it just keeps going on. It's just like, and then, you know, the addition of Jennifer Tilly, I just can't. She just keeps getting rougher throughout it. It's just hard to like bear with her in these movies sometimes. So yeah, I don't know. It's just the over dramatic kind of thing, like very, very, very dramatized kind of version. I don't know how to describe it, but I just can't do the over dramatized version of it. It gets really like annoying. But we're gonna go to the last one, which is the remake. Now I did do a ranking of this a very long time ago, but my channel is gone. So I put this very low last time because I didn't give this movie a chance because how much I enjoyed the series. I'm like, I didn't want a remake. I watched it again. You know what? Oh, where am I gonna put this? Oh, what would I put? Ooh, would I watch Cult? Okay, I'm gonna put Child's Play there, the remake. Now, oh shit. Okay, you know what? I'll put Curse of Chucky a little bit under just for that ending, but because you know of how it plays into the next thing. But this is how I'm going to put this. This is how the ranking's going to go. Let me just talk about Child's Play remake real quick. I enjoy this movie. I actually really enjoy this movie. Now I have an open mind to it. I really enjoy this movie. And a lot of the aspects and even the whole commentary on parenting and stuff like that, I thought worked very well, the message. And the only really bad thing is Chucky looks terrible. He looks really bad. Kills were crazy. I enjoyed the kid actors in this movie. I enjoyed the mom actor and the whole idea of this malfunctioning AI and stuff like that. And I know Don Mancini, I saw the interview where he said that was kind of his original plan. So to see that in kind of a full fruition, even though it wasn't him who did this, and I know he hates this remake, but seeing that position, I thought it was cool. And I'd be curious to see where they would go with this. But I think the build up to it was cool. It was just kind of just different. It was a different type of pace. I'm glad I gave it a chance because I genuinely do like this movie. It's hard for me, because it's weird because I want to put it above Curse of Chucky, but I want to put it below because I enjoy Curse of Chucky so much. It's just because to be real, I will always pick the original 4 over Child's Play remake. It's just I grew up with these movies, so you know what? Just because I feel like it's fair if I put Child's Play the remake over Curse of Chucky because Curse of Chucky kind of falls in a little bit of the problems that are going to start in Cult of Chucky. So that part frustrates me. It doesn't frustrate me as much when I watch the Child's Play remake. So we're just going to put that there. So if you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your tier list. Go give me in the comments. Give me a list of all the movies you ranked and stuff like that. And give me why. Give me why. What's your favorite movie? This is just my opinion. And yeah, without further ado, if you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Peace!
Ain't no simpin', just pimp chimpin'. Ain't no simpin', just pimp chimpin'. Ain't no simpin', just pimp chimpin'. Ain't no simpin', I'm just pimp chimpin'. Ain't no simpin', just pimp chimpin'. Ain't no simpin', just pimp chimpin'. Ain't no simpin', just pimp chimpin'. Ain't no simpin'.